welcome your host, Maddie Two Shoes.
Oh, hello, friends. Welcome to a hot, blazing Friday with me, Matty Two Shoes, here on Twitch. It is absolutely scorching here. If I wear sunglasses, I feel cooler. It is currently 78 Fahrenheit, 26 degrees Celsius inside this room. Congratulations, Steffi, on being not first, and Ched Dev, I'm very sorry that you were not first, but you were not first, so you claimed not first. So you can be happy about being not first, because that's in itself also an achievement. And yes, I am melting. I am still, after like a year, because we have a cooling problem in our building, still not used to the fact that it is consistently between 25 and 26.
Why?
I forgot that I added that. This heat has been unbelievable. It was 90 Fahrenheit and 70% humidity. I work from home, no AC. Fractal, that sounds awful, like me. Although 90 Fahrenheit is higher. Wait, inside? Inside your house or apartment? That is, yeah. Why have you not got the song I wear my sunglasses at night in your head? I don't know, because it's nighttime and I'm wearing sunglasses. Also, welcome in Flyboy and Ched Dev and Fractal and Steffi. Very good to see all of you here on this extended edition of the Data Cafe. If you don't know about the Data Cafe format, every Friday here on Twitch, we go through different news items of the week in tech and data. Anything interesting, anything that piques my little interest. Collaborative Rocker, hello and ahoy to you. Very glad to see you again, Collaborative. You were much. Oh no.
You were a great help on Monday, Collaborative, by sending over that file. I shouted you out on Patreon if anyone would like to read stream recaps. Where is this? Oh shoot, my sunglasses are so dark. Do I not have a... There it is.
I write stream recaps of my streams on Patreon, and you can read them for free. And Collaborative, I shouted you out on Patreon because you are an absolute legend to have gone and looked up all the colors manually in that list. Is absolutely amazing. Doubt. Oh, the X is right on. I got X'd on my face. Yeah. Thanks for playing that, Flyboy, and thanks for messing up my stream. So, welcome to all of you. Glad to see you're all here. I think the music needs a bit of a change. And I think that was your clip, Steffi. Oh, that's cool. I think the music needs a bit of a change. Because it's kind of chill. It's a bit chill. We need something a bit more upbeat, up tempo. And yes, throw all the paper balls that you like, as always. Throwing them is free, almost. 7 channel points. Fairly cheap. Okay, so we should go for maybe this one. Let's try this one, chat. How do we feel about this one? Let's change the music. That's better. All right. Oh, bunny cam. Wow. And adjusted numbers ad. Unfortunately, I only realized 30 seconds before I was meant to go live. How can I say this? No, I realized when I sat down at my desk, when I was ready to switch to the just chatting scene, that I did not plug in and arrange my webcam. So I cannot run the ad. I broke the ad. So I will refund you, Flyboy. I'm very sorry. I unfortunately cannot do that, but I will definitely be putting on the bunny cam very shortly as we transition into the first of many news items of the day. It's okay yet again. That's true. Fly, I'm so sorry. It would have happened to anyone who redeemed it. You have to look at it this way. It's not particular to you. It would have happened to anyone. Look, you don't lose anything out, right? You don't lose any channel points. It's everything is the same. No harm, no foul, right? So the way that we start off the data cafe, and actually the way that we start off all of our that is not how we normally start things. But C. Anhorn, thank you very much for 12 months, and you are now officially part of the pie chart gang, repping that amazing pie chart emote. 12 months. Oh wow, C. Anhorn, that is amazing. Thank you so much. The heatwave needs to end so I can bunny suit you. Yeah, I am looking very much forward to the heat ending so that I can also live a normal life again, because this is honestly having detrimental effects on my health. Like, it's been this warm in our place for a year, even during winter. And during winter, it's not as bad because outside it's really cold. So it kind of balances itself out. Like, you can open the windows a lot. Now, when it's, 30 plus outside, you can't open the windows to cool down the apartment. Not even in the mornings or the evenings when there's like, Mediterranean nights or whatever they call them. So yeah, I'm a bit fed up of it. And yeah, we've taken actually legal action against our what are they called? We're the tenant and they are the letting agency or company. I don't know what you want to call them. So yeah, we've actually started legal proceedings against them. Landlord, thank you, Steffi. Exactly. We've started a process where they basically are forced to undertake something to change it because it's actually above the normal regulated temperature within a building. Like, it should be maximum 23 degrees in an apartment here. And if an apartment has higher or lower temperatures than that threshold, then you can basically start this whole process of declaring something as a what's it called? You declare it as a fault, basically, as faulty, and then they have to look into it. And if they don't take action by a certain period of time, you can actually withhold your rent. So you pay it into like this third-party account, and then yeah, it's really like a huge deal because they don't get paid until the problem is fixed. So they're a fairly big company, so it's not like the rent is gonna hurt them, but it's more like there's 5 of us doing that now, and if 5 people withhold their rent, that's a significant chunk to then persuade them. The lords of the land, keepers of the keys. It's indeed the case, Flyboy. Yeah, we do have a lot of renter protections here. For it to be declared uninhabitable, Flyboy, it would have to be very extreme. Like the roof would have to be essentially falling in. Yeah, here. So Cianhorn did what's called a lurk scribe, which is when someone who's lurking subscribes but doesn't actually say anything in chat. This was discovered last time, that this is a thing. I've only lived in one place with renter protection laws. The law was literally that they just had to paint the walls between tenants. That's it. Really, Fractal? Okay, so here a lot of things are regulated. So like how often they have to paint, how often they have to replace flooring. There's like a whole thing about what the standards kind of are. And if they don't adhere to them, they know that people just won't take the place because yeah, it's just very, very high standard of living, but it also costs a lot to live here, right? That's the thing. We're paying like a third of our salary in rent, although I don't know if that's so unusual. Hi, Cianhorn. I didn't mean to call you out as a lurker. I was just saying lurk scribing is a thing. So yeah, overall, Fractal, I think it is very good to have renter protections because we're definitely the losers in this relationship. Like, we are the ones that need the apartment, so if they don't change it, then we are the ones that have to leave, right? We're the ones who have to live here. We had an apartment complex turn off the water for 3 days without them providing an alternative. We got a month free and 2 nights stay because the company didn't want to get sued. Okay, yeah, here if they were going to turn off the water for 3 days, they would have to give you advance notice. Unless it was an actual emergency. They'd have to give you advance notice, they'd have to provide an alternative, they would have to... Yeah, it would be quite a big deal here. You pay half your salary for your place, Steffi. Wow. Wow. That is... okay. Yeah, okay, it obviously makes a difference if you live in the city or if you live in countryside, etc. Fractal says, my last apartment had black mold in the walls. After the water main broke the 3rd time in a year, they wouldn't do anything. I paid a quarter of my monthly salary to live there. Ooh. Yeah, anything that starts to go into health stuff gets really bad here because basically they're forced to... They have to call in a third-party expert. They're not allowed to look at it themselves. They have to call in a contractor, like a company that is specialized in mold or whatever, or you know, that kind of stuff, to come in and give an assessment, and the assessment gets sent to both parties, so the renters and the tenant, or the tenant can't, the landlord can't withhold any information from the tenants. And yeah, if it's something like mold or anything health related, then the law is very clear that they have to provide. If it's like an actual danger to your health, like at the time, then they have to put you in in lodging. They have to fix it immediately, etc. So the renter protections here are very good, but it is very expensive. Yeah. So the renting saga, yeah, the heating or cooling saga, I should say, continues. And I haven't really adjusted yet to the heat. Like, the fact that it's hot outside and inside at the same time is what causes that combination to be like, yeah, wearing something like a bunny suit is maybe not so nice at the moment. So I'm sorry about that, Fly. But yeah. Makes up for not needed car and its costs, I guess, due to the flat being in the city. I can get everywhere by walking, riding a bike, or using public transport. Yeah, Steffi, so it's all about weighing up all of those different variables together, right? If you live a bit further out, you might need a car to go places. If you want to have a car in the city, you got to pay for parking. Hey, TD, thank you so much for also subscribing for 12 months. Wow. That's incredible. Holy macaroni, 12 months is a long time. Congrats. We're both awesome. You're absolutely right about that, TD. We're both awesome. Thank you so much for that. I really appreciate it. Really appreciate it. Are you doing well, TD? Are you doing well? Oh no. What's this? Yeah, here. Oh, I went into the VOD. Uh-oh. This is still a thing. I'm watching a VOD of a VOD. That's me streaming.
Oh my days.
But anyway, this is like some basic chart. It's not that important.
Okay.
It was meant to be a shout out for you, TD, but it ended up being a shout out for me. So So TD, I hope you're well. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. Fly, did I check your link? Oh, no, I did not. I missed that. I must have missed that. Oh, weather. Ooh. Oh my gosh. Phoenix, Arizona. Yeah, that's meant... Like, Phoenix is known for being hot, Flyboy. Like, right? That's like... Oh, I can change it into Celsius. That's nice. Yikes. 31 at night. Okay, but you're... Are you not, like, used to it by now? To some extent? And no matter what happens during the stream, it will end at a maximum of 20... Well, that sounded weird. That was very strange. Didn't that sound odd? Hell no, after 8 years. Still not used to it. That was very odd. I just heard like double audio or something. That seemed a bit strange. That was weird. Is that the shoutout thing? Clippy shoutout. Is there like a filter on it or something? Hold on one second, chat. I gotta check something. It's very strange. Some weird stuff here. Ah, I forgot that. I forgot about that. Yeah, I forgot I was messing around with some stuff, chat. Sorry. So, Data Cafe. Data Cafe. We are going to cover a ton of news today, which is why I actually went live a little bit earlier. I'm aware that I'm an hour early, Steffi. Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm gonna try and get through everything. It's quite ambitious because it's a lot of topics. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 tabs of things, and one of the tabs is like a tree and goes into like 5 or 6 potential directions. So I don't know if we're gonna get through everything, and I have a hard cut today, chat. I have a hard cut. I cannot go past midnight because I have to get up very early tomorrow for secret reasons. So we have a hard cap, which means we have 4 hours to get through everything. So we've already used 23 minutes of that time. So I suggest that we try and get straight into it. Not with that attitude. Secrets. Multiple secrets. Secrets on secrets. And the way that we start off the stream is, of course, with the meme of the day. If you would like a link to the meme of the day to send to your friends, use the exclamation mark MOTD in chat. Haha, TD. Secret, Maddie's only got 1 shoe. That's not true. I have 2 shoes. How dare you? Also, bunny cam, because, well, bunny cam, obviously. Okay, we don't see any bunnies. We need to adjust the bunny cam because we don't see any bunnies.
Where are the bunnies? Scam cam! I don't know where they are. Honestly. I don't know where they are. Where are they? Oh, wait! I found them! There we go. Hold on a second.
Ta-da! I found them! So up on the top right is Ben, and on the bottom is Jerry. We found them, chat. We did it. Definitely not a scam cam anymore. They are what's called loafing in bunny terms, which is when they just sort of stretch out and do their like mini naps, because bunnies sleep for 12 to 13 hours a day, just not in one go. They just sleep, wake up, sleep, wake up, sleep, wake up. Actually, their cycle is sleep, wake up, poop, eat, sleep, wake up, poop, eat, in multiple different iterations and loops of that. So that's yeah, if you sounds like an amazing life. It is quite a good life. We got Ben and Jerry recently, about 3 weeks ago. They have been very poorly behaved the first 2 weeks. Very poorly behaved. They were peeing all over the place, pooping all over the place, and things have gotten a lot better. Bunnies can be litter box trained. That's why they have a litter box. They can be litter box trained, and now they're doing a lot better with the litter box. I occasionally find a pee on the floor somewhere, but it's okay. It's not so bad. And in general, they're extremely curious. They are extremely curious. Whenever you open the gate, they're always trying to get out and have a look around and see what's going on, and it's quite funny. But they're very affectionate. They're very trusting. And if you want to know a little bit more about Ben and Jerry, there's a command for each of them, Ben and Jerry, just like the ice cream. So back to the meme of the day. The meme of the day is courtesy of Steffi, actually. Steffi, who sent me this, and I immediately thought, this is a perfect meme for the meme of the day. They have separate commands, Steffi, but thank you very much. Ben, exclamation mark Ben, and exclamation mark Jerry, because they're individual bunnies, so they have their own commands, you know? That's kind of the thing.
Why?
I keep forgetting that that's... Yeah. Oh, I need to update... That's true. I need to update Ben's command. Did I say command singular? I mean, I meant singular as in, you know, singular as in they each have their own command. Does that make sense? Ben is one of the two which slightly tan in color. He has a small tear in his ear from a fight with another bunny in the rescue. He is a... Okay, that's good. That's updated now. All right. So, here we go. This is a good meme. I like the meme a lot. Bunny fights sound brutal. Bunny fights are savage. Like, we have a little bit of blood on the wall from when we tried to matchmake our previous bunny, Fiona, with a new bunny after her buddy passed away last year. And we brought a bunny here, Clooney, and it did not go well. It did not go well at all. They were like great friends for a while, and then yeah, things really took a turn for the worse. There was fur flying everywhere. There was she had a gash in her ear and on her back. Like yeah, when they fight to hurt, like, badly. Welcome in, Sociable Steve. Welcome in. Very nice to see you. The background of an A320 looms before us. Is that EasyJet? It is EasyJet. Hello, Sketch. Nice to see you as well. Clooney, they would have probably needed a George. Yeah, exactly. So the bunny was named Clooney, but we renamed him Chip, because we had assumed that we would keep him. Like, we got him from the rescue, and we were trying to, you know, put them, socialize them together so that they would be partners. But it's very, 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 very tricky to do. It's a whole thing. There's a whole thing, and it's too long of an explanation. We don't have time today to explain in detail. But basically, trying to not mate the bunnies, to be very clear, like not mating them, just bonding them, is really a huge ordeal, really. So, exclamation mark nerd. Are you a nerd, Sketch? Are you a nerd? Okay. So the meme of the day, what is needed for a good relationship? Primary keys. Let's not forget as well that foreign keys are also important. Foreign keys are also very important. Rugmat, welcome in. Live already? Yes, we are here an hour early for Extended Data Cafe. I hope that you share the meme and bring joy to many others in the chat, in your communities, in your life. And we will move into the first item of the day. You didn't get the memo. I was busy watching Finite. Ah, yes, Finite is still live, right? Probably, I guess. We may get raided. Who knows? So, the first item of the day. It wouldn't be a data cafe if we didn't talk about TikTok 1 week, right? Because it seems that almost every time we talk in the data cafe, there's always something to talk about. What is this attachment sketch? Okay, this is a pretty nice calculator. I am programming. Hello world, the best calculator. 10 plus 5 is 105. I'm guessing that's like a concat situation versus a plus situation, right? I'm pretty sure this is like a concat situation versus the actual math, but yeah. So it wouldn't be a real stream if we didn't talk about TikTok, right? So big news came out. This is already a little bit old, actually, almost a month old. But this is kind of a big deal. I've been saying for a while that I'm extremely skeptical of TikTok's privacy policy and what stuff is written in there. And the FCC, which is the Federal something of Communication, I don't remember the middle letter, wrote Apple and Google to tell them to remove TikTok from their app stores, and gave them a timeline that they needed statements by July 8th. I don't know what the statements are. I haven't looked up what the statements are. Federal Communications Commission? Oh, that could be. Yeah. Let's look up FCC. Federal Communications Commission. Yes, thank you. Okay. So this is kind of a big deal, and you might be asking yourself, well, why would the government be asking two ginormous tech companies, Apple and Google, to remove an app from their app store? I mean, obviously they don't have the power to do it, Fractal. That's right, they have so little power. But it is a big deal when they say something like this. Now, TikTok is owned by ByteDance, which is a Chinese company, and it's been facing a lot of scrutiny recently about how they handle user data, particularly US data, being passed to Chinese servers, which the US is very concerned about because of manipulation in elections, because of potential for misuse or abuse. And this is the quote that I think is the most remarkable about this. TikTok is not what it appears to be on the surface. It is not just an app for sharing funny videos or meme. That's the sheep's clothing. At its core, TikTok functions as a sophisticated surveillance tool that harvests extensive amounts of personal and sensitive data. And Steffi, like all of us, is completely shocked and floored because we had no idea that this was happening. Kappa. Everybody knew. If you read the privacy policy, you kind of knew what they were harvesting and looking at. But this is kind of a big deal that the FCC has actually openly stated that they want the app removed from the App Store. Of course, it hasn't happened yet, and TikTok is making headlines all over the place at the moment for different reasons, like the fact that...
Why?
Sorry, it cracks me up every time. They're making headlines for a lot of different reasons. One of them at the moment was related to the fact that ad spend on TikTok is going through the roof and is actually set to surpass YouTube ad spend. This is companies booking ads on TikTok. So this kind of, yeah, this is really bonkers. Like the amount of growth that the app has had is crazy. This privacy policy is why I never signed up. Fractal, that is exactly the same reason for me and exactly the same for Steffi, it seems as well. I refuse to sign up to a service where it states in the privacy policy that no matter what video I upload, no matter what effects I apply to it, no matter what I do to the video, they can retain the original video for whatever purpose they want. There can't be a legitimate reason for an app that is providing entertainment services to retain the original copy of a video that I uploaded that I don't have anymore. Right? That just doesn't make sense, you know. How about the child deaths because they cannot moderate and push harmful content to children's recommended pages? Oh, of course, the whole meme spreading stuff.
Did you hear about corduroy pillows? They are making headlines.
That's amazing, Rugmat. Yeah, the incorrect moderation, or the fact that videos about the Ukraine war were being like people were recording gameplay footage from these ultra realistic war games simulators and uploading them to TikTok with hashtags from the Ukraine war, and they were being seen by millions and millions of people. TikTok was pushing it in the algorithm, right? So all of these topics make it a really, really dangerous app, in my opinion. And everyone is entitled to use whatever they want. I'm not saying that you shouldn't use it. I'm just saying that I think it makes sense to talk about these things because a lot of people are not aware of them. We are in the tech space. I think we are really aware of these kinds of things. But yeah. So essentially, the letter cited the news report that we looked at on a previous stream, which was the fact that user data from the US had been accessed in China. And this wasn't just a case of, oh, show me like a segment of users who are spending the most money, blah, blah, blah. This is actual backdoors into databases and data access systems that have been built by ByteDance, where users who work for TikTok in the US said that they don't understand how those tools work or what they do exactly. And that's terrifying. That's really terrifying. I'm sorry. So basically, TikTok on June 17th, which was the same day that the BuzzFeed report came out, they announced that they're routing all of the US traffic to their new Oracle Cloud infrastructure, which was part of the agreement that they reached with the government about where they're allowed to operate with their app. Because of the size of the app, right? They're under a lot more scrutiny than a smaller app that only has, you know, a couple hundred users. We're talking, I don't know how many, TikTok, how many users does TikTok have? We're talking an app that has 1 billion monthly active users, okay? This is not total registration. This is 1 billion registered users. And if you know 8 people, one of them will have TikTok. Okay, 1 in 8, essentially, in terms of world population. So what's crazy is it is really like, because of the size of the app, they're obviously facing a lot of scrutiny, and a lot of people who are, you know, pro social media or defenders of the app might say, oh, this is totally unfair. It's not right that they're facing so much scrutiny. You know, other apps that operate with similar technology should be held to the same standards. And the problem is that, yes, other apps, like if I made an app today and I released it into the App Store and I was storing US user data outside the US, then sure, they could contact me and tell me, hey, it's not good that you're storing US data outside the US, blah, 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 privacy policy, wah, wah, wah. But the matter is that maybe it's a couple hundred people affected. But the problem is when you have 1 billion people on an app, then it's in the vested interest of 1/8 of the planet. You know, it's just different stakes. I'm sorry, it's just different stakes. Like the Russian Face app thing that was sending your image and data to Russian servers. I'm not familiar with that one, Sketch. Didn't hear about that. But essentially, this is an ongoing thing. This is not the last time that we've heard about this. I don't know what the statement is. The letter pointed to reports, blah, blah, blah. They should provide statements to him by July 8th. TikTok, Apple, Google statement car. It was a couple of years ago. Let me see if I can find an article. Sure. If you find one, you can just pop it over to me. You can put it in chat, but it's better if you just pop it over to me in a DM on Discord. Are there any updates to this? Should remove? I don't see an update to this. Anyhow, so the point is, chat, that this is not over. This is not over. This is going to be going for some time. There's going to be a lot of stuff happening. Face app. Let you age your own image. Even the FBI started investigations back then. Oh, really? Wow. Okay. That's pretty the bunnies are totally asleep. I forgot that the camera was on. That's a good redemption for you, Fly. You got your money's worth there. So, what is the next item? The next item, speaking of Google, is about AI. And we always hear about, you know, we always hear about how AI is evil, right? Like, Twitch's algorithm is bad because it doesn't make good recommendations, or, you know, hiring AIs have bias in them and they tend to favor males because that's what the AI was fed as data. The fact is that these systems of artificial intelligence are only as good as the people who create them. If people create a system and they introduce their bias into the system, it's not the AI's fault, it's their fault, right? We all know that. What's interesting is when something comes out of an AI that's better than we thought. And this is what happened in Google's case. Now, Google spends a lot of time doing a lot of different projects, right? This is just one team in one division in one place that did something, right? But basically, they built an AI that's better at distributing money based on who started with what amount of resources. And humans preferred this to the normal, let's say, capitalistic cycle. So this stems from basically the problem that the whole 1% thing, right? 1% have over 99% of the wealth. It's basically here. There's a huge wage gap in the US. This is not a particular problem to the US alone, but in the US, this is a very extreme situation. So there's really, really bad poverty and inequality, and it vastly outpaces other nations as well, like Switzerland. There is a poverty line here, but it's very low, right? Now, the system in place in the US means that this isn't going to change anytime soon. This is unless there's some catastrophic event or major event, there isn't something that's going to really rock the way that this works. So basically, can machine learning come up with a better solution than humans can? Now, remember what I said before. The systems that we design are only designed based on our input. So it's very hard to imagine us coming up with a system that we don't know exists yet, but that's kind of what happens with AI. When you give AI information and it runs with it, it comes out with stuff that you didn't know. It's kind of the point. So Google's one of Google's project called DeepMind, which I think, let me tell you exactly what that is. This is DeepMind is one of Google's divisions. Is that right? That has multiple teams committed to solving intelligence, advancing science, and benefiting humanity. Okay, it's pretty big stuff, right? Obviously, only a company like Google or Alphabet can fund these efforts as well. So they published a paper in nature.com. If we look at the article, human-centered mechanism design with democratic AI. Foster, Balaguer et al. Show that an AI mechanism is able to learn to produce a redistribution policy which is preferred to alternatives by humans in an incentivized game. So they did a study, and they basically found that this AI's method of redistributing wealth is better than our current system. So basically there were a lot of humans, I don't know how many it was, where there were a lot of experiments, and they all got shown the results of these experiments of how resources were divvied up. I'm not sure if I'd prefer Alphabet or Meta were funding this sketch. Honestly, neither, realistically speaking, but there isn't a lot that we can do about that, if that makes sense. I mean, big tech should not... Steffi's right. Like, big tech should not be touching this stuff. But then what would all the rich people do? What would they do without their yacht collections? You see? That's the question, Fractal. So anyway, so basically, they had a series of experiments where the AI divvied up resources in tons of people, like tons of different ways, right? And the humans participated in an online economic game, which they called a public goods game. And so in each round, they would choose whether to keep the money or contribute the amount into a collective fund. This is really interesting because there's a lot of games that actually have this mechanic in it. And the funds would be returned to the players under 3 different redistribution schemes based on different human economic systems. So again, this is like the way that we've designed things. And there was a 4th scheme, which was created entirely by the AI, but the people didn't know which one they were voting for. That's the interesting part. So what happened is, the distribution scheme that was created by the AI was the one that was preferred by the majority of everyone participating in this game. So basically the 3 systems, which were like libertarian, egalitarian, were, those are systems that are based on rules that we already know. But the AI came up with a better system, this human-centered redistribution mechanism, HCRM, and most people actually preferred that, which is kind of funny. And it redistributed the wealth in such a way that specifically addressed the advantages and disadvantages players had at the start of the game. You know what really angers me? I have around £4,500 in debt and survive around £6,000 per year. I'm closer to having exactly 1 million than a billionaire is. I'm confused about your math, Sketch. Or I misunderstood your message. Speaking of yachts, did you hear about Bezos' new one that leads into Amsterdam needing to dismantle a bridge? But Steffi, they're not going to do it. Rotterdam voted no. They're not going to do it. There was too much resistance. There was too much resistance. A billion is 1,000 million. Okay, Sketch. So basically, 0 is closer to 1 million than... close. Oh, right, closer. Okay, now I understand. Okay. So...
Same-day delivery. Jeff Bezos,
yes, Bezos.
man in the world.
So, Fractal, you said you wanted to see their survey design. I mean, I'm gonna have the link in my Patreon page, so you can go get the link to the article, or you can look for it. It's quite easy to find, I think. The HCRM mechanism is really interesting. So, HCRM, which is basically the AI's version, tried to reduce pre-existing income disparities by compensating players in proportion to their contribution relative to endowment. What this basically means is that how much you put in directly affects how much you get out of it. This is the research paper, okay? Now, obviously, don't tell me that you understand this, because I don't understand it. I don't understand it at all, right? Builds a yacht, can't get it out of the Netherlands. Yeah, Steffi, I'm really curious as to how they're going to get it out of that port, because there's literally no other way. Like, it's fully built already. I don't know how they're going to remove it. But basically, this is like all part of the design of how they structured the experiment. I thought it was really interesting. So, what's interesting about this approach, dismantle the yacht and ship the parts. Oh, okay, yeah, that's... I've been published in a Nature publication. How the hell did this figure make it through editing? I don't know. I honestly... This is actually from the research paper, and it's very confusing. I mean, I just thought I didn't understand it, you know? I don't know. But it's really interesting. So the AI researchers wrote something really interesting, and it's a little bit... it's complicated to understand, but basically... Instead of imbuing our agents with purportedly human values a priori, and thus potentially biasing systems towards the preferences of AI researchers, we train them to maximize a democratic objective, to design policies that humans prefer and thus will vote to implement in a Midgetorian election. So this is what I was saying earlier, is that the people who design a system in AI tend to introduce bias of the creators. So it's really interesting how they've tried to combat that by specifically using this research to decide on how the model should be created in the first place. So yeah, I really, yeah, I like this. It's really interesting. Now, what's important to remember is this. Even though the AI system was preferred by human participants, it doesn't necessarily mean that it would perform on a large scale as well as we want it to, which is terrifying to think that we still can't find a system of distributing wealth in such a way that, you know, works for the planet. Sorry, something in my throat, chat. Don't forget to hydrate. Very important. So yeah, this is ultimately, it's an experiment, right? It's an experiment, and it might work, but we also simply don't know, and that we also don't have a way to just, you know, change it for the planet. Like, we can't suddenly gather everyone on the whole planet together and be like, listen everyone, we're gonna change the distribution of wealth. Yes, Sketch raises a hammer and sickle. No, we need to, this is always going to be done like on a country kind of like nation by nation basis, and that's what makes it quite challenging. Yeah, that's what makes it very challenging, but it could be used as a thought process. It could be used as a thought process for informing governments to take decisions, right? And I think that's where the potential lies, hopefully. Also, we don't know anything about long-term stability. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's like with long COVID. No one knows what long COVID's effects are because we haven't had a chance to observe it for long enough. We know what the effects of long-term obesity are because we've been able to study obesity for 20 years. But no one can accelerate the clock for COVID that you can understand what 20 years of long COVID does to someone, right? I like what they did at the end of Mr. Robot. No spoilers, I didn't watch the end actually. I stopped watching midway. But it's a very, very good show. I agree with you, Fractal. Very good show. So this was a very interesting article. I encourage you to read it. I encourage you all to also go look at the paper. It's a bit dry. No, Steffi. Don't at me, as Panther would say. Don't at me. It was a long time ago, and now I have to rewatch like substantial parts of it in order to, you know what I mean? Like, and now I would have to go rewatch substantial parts of it in order to be able to get to the point where I would be ready to watch the end, right? I've been away from it for too long. Speaking of too long, I'm going to take a short 2-minute break, and I'm gonna run an ad.
Why? 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 Why?
Why not just start over? Stop streaming and go do it now. No. We're gonna get through the rest of the articles because there's a lot to go through. There's a lot to go through. So listen, I'm gonna run a short ad as well, so that's out of the way. You won't miss anything. And I'll be right back in a minute or two. No stress, okay, people? All right? See you in a minute. Bye-bye. Did you have a good break, chat? I am back. What background is this? Ad background. Is this an ad? Faster than expected. That's good. I aim to please. What is this background? How do I... Let's see. That's weird. There's like a Beatles thing in there. Beatles poster. Maybe this was like an ad for something else and then they pulled it out or something. I don't know. Bit strange. So if anyone is offended by naked men, I mean top level naked, then I encourage you to look away for a second, because I'm gonna show you an article and it has a naked man on the cover. So that was a bit of a clickbait. Apparently, we are all dating completely wrong. So I don't know. I don't want to call out anyone who's single or in a partnership or whatever. Okay, I'm happily with my partner since almost 5 years. So I haven't been in the dating scene for a long time. An article about Tinder? No, it's not about Tinder specifically. It is about how people date in general. The subtitle is "Large datasets provide intriguing and dismaying insights into who we're drawn to and how much that matters for our romantic happiness." Now, I'm not gonna claim to know the secret to love or anything like that, right? but I'm with my partner since 5 years, and I can tell you the number one thing is communication. Everything else is secondary. It's all about communication. If you have good communication that's built on a common ground of rules and understanding, then everything is a piece of cake after that. So people have been trying to measure love for a long time. I even had a stream way back when where I tried to measure love by looking at some data sets and doing some SQL analysis on that. I think it was a data set from OkCupid, which are very, very data driven, much like, you know, Tinder and stuff like that, but really like very deep how they do that. Communication is key in every part of life. Yeah, that's true. That's true. It's overall good advice, let's say. So the most consequential decision of a person's life is who Warren Buffett thinks who you marry. I don't think marrying in that sense is like the key point of decision making. You can also be with someone without marrying them. But anyway, so I don't think it's generally the case that someone says to myself, you know, no one would really sit down and say to themselves, you know what, I'm really attracted to this person, but I need to run some SQL before I really know if it's for sure. You know, I need to run some queries first to make sure that I'm certain, you know, about what I'm doing. I don't think that really happens that way. There have been stories of people using data to get what they want, as you can see with this book, using data to get what you really want in life. Don't trust your gut, which I think is terrible advice, just for the record. I don't give advice, but I think that is terrible advice. So it's been a long time. Now, what's interesting is a scientist by the name of Samantha Joel a few years ago came along and said she wants to use data and science to change the field of love. And the way that her approach was different is she did not just recruit a tiny sample of couples and study that tiny sample of couples. That's what's usually done in the field of research. No, what she did is she joined together data from hundreds of different studies. And so she recruited a large number of scientists. So really a large number of scientists this 85 scientists, okay? This team is big. 85 scientists, and was able to build a data set of almost 11,200 heterosexual couples, which is that's very, very impressive. In the science world, like if you have 11,200 of something, that is representative of a ton of people. Like really, the representation is so powerful, right? So yes, Fractal, horrible advice. 11,200 people is representative of millions of people, right? That's just the way that this works. So the size of the data set was impressive, and also what they had. So for each couple, they had measures of how happy each partner reported being in the relationship, and they had data on just about anything you could think about to measure the two people in that relationship. They had basically a data analyst's wet dream. Demographics, physical appearance, sexual tastes, interests and hobbies, mental, physical health, values, and much, much more. And I'm not even running on the beta. No, I'm not, Dust. Should I be running on the beta? I thought it was a secret. I'm not allowed to talk about it. Dust, you can't tell me it's a secret and then at me. No point now pushing to live. Oh, you are? No way. That's so cool. Oh, that's amazing. I'm very looking forward to that. Dust, welcome in. I hope you had a wonderful time at TwitchCon Amsterdam. Yeah, I want this data set too, Fractal. Could we go get it? How could we get it? Can we get this data set somehow? Maybe we can go get it. Machine learning uncovers the most robust self-report. Multi-lab project on predicting... Oh, that was on Twitter. Dating decisions. I'm currently seeking collaborators for a new multi-lab project on predicting relationship outcomes. If you have existing longitudinal data on romantic couples, share it with us and join our authorship team. Insane. Okay. Very cool. It was non-COVID-y for yourself. That's very good. Ninja into their offices and take it. But what if they're remote, Fractal? Then I can't ninja into their office. So 85 other scientists, team of 86 scientists with 11,200 couples who have everything. Like, how freaky did they want their sex to be? Can you imagine there's a column in the data store of their modulated data set that has like a freakiness score of like 0 to 10? They computed like a freaky score for each partner. Anyway, they didn't have just the best data, they also had the best statistical methods. They'd all mastered like machine learning and just crazy amount of stuff. Well, I mean, 86 scientists together can basically do anything. Sex kink. Some people love to talk about how freaky their sex lives are. Yeah, I can imagine that some people are really open about it. So one might call Joel's project the AI marriage, as it was among the first studies to utilize these advanced techniques to try to predict relationship happiness. That score is definitely going to be stored as points, honestly. No, it's an integer, 0 to 10. So, after building her team and collecting and analyzing data, Joel was ready to present the results. The most exciting project in the history of relationship science. She scheduled a talk in October 2019, just before COVID. University of Waterloo in Canada. Can we help people pick better romantic partners? And look at this, chat. Can Samantha Joel, teaming up with 85 of the world's most renowned scientists, combining data from 43 studies, mining hundreds of variables from more than 10,000 couples using state-of-the-art machine models, help people pick better romantic partners? No. No! It wasn't possible. Everything is unpredictable. Basically, Samantha Joel told me in a Zoom interview how unpredictable relationships seem to be. Joel and her co-authors found that demographics, preferences, and values of two people had surprisingly little power in predicting whether those two people were happy in a romantic relationship. So basically, if you ask an AI to help this figuring out, then the AI is just going to tell you, sorry, I don't know. I have no idea. I have no clue. I was a scientist once. It is not a sustainable career for most people. Unfortunately, it can also be so corrupt at the academic level. I'm not bitter. Fractal, I understand what you mean. I understand. I don't know many scientists. I know a couple. Or I know people who are in research, let's say. Steffi, keep it PG, please. Thank you. Because humans love shooting themselves in the foot. Even if the AI tells me I should go for person A, I'm gonna go for person B who is clearly wrong for me, just because. How can we train an AI when we don't even know? That's right, Rugmat. We can't train an AI if we don't even know something. So, basically, it's not like a complete letdown, because there were lessons in the project. So for one, this is really interesting. Joel and her team found that the power of all the variables they had collected to predict a couple's happiness was surprisingly small. They found a few variables in a mate that at least slightly increased the odds you will be happy with them. Who wants to know what that variable, or what those variables were, that might increase the odds slightly of you being with someone and being happy? Wow, it's weird not being the one getting shouted at for being lewd. I mean, Steffi was still okay. It's just, you know, Yeah. Let's get lewd. Sex_kink. So, sax kink. Ah, dust. Very good. So, think about it. Many people certainly believe that many of the variables that Joel and her team studied are important in picking a romantic partner. They compete ferociously for partners with certain traits, assuming that these traits will make them happy. If, on average, as Joel and her co-authors found, many of the traits that are competed for in the dating market do not correlate with romantic happiness, this suggests that many people are dating wrong. So basically, they don't tell you what the variables are. Unfortunately. I would love to know what the variables were. So if someone would like to go dig into the research paper and find out what the variables were, like financial status or monogamy or I don't know what, you must buy the book to learn what they are. No, I don't think that's her book though. That's not her book, isn't it? That's from someone else. I think... Oh, hold on a second. So they did look for stuff about how people are dating in the last few years. So other teams of researchers have mined online dating sites, blah, blah, blah. And then, so what traits make people desirable to others? The first truth of what people look for in romantic partners was expressed by a rock star before scientists figured it out. 1993, we're all looking for something beautiful. Someone tall, someone of a desired race, even though most never admit it. Someone rich, someone in an enforcement position, if a man. Someone with a sexy name. Someone just like ourselves. People are 11.3% more likely to match with someone who shares their initials. Oh, I thought this article was to sell the book. I don't think that's the case. Now, it's really interesting. The article goes into a lot more detail about how people are attracted to certain traits, but honestly, none of these traits guarantee happiness, at least according to some AI model. I realized about 2 years into my marriage that my partner looks very similar to my dad. What does that say about you? I have no idea what that means, Fractal. And since when was Jacob a sexy name? I don't know, Sketch. I really don't know. Okay, according to my read of the research of Joel and her co-authors, as well as some other research in relationship science, the best 3 questions to figure out whether John is happy with Sally would have nothing to do with Sally. In fact, all would be related to John. The best questions to predict John's happiness with Sally might look something like, John, were you satisfied with your life before you met Sally? John, were you free from depression before you met Sally? John, did you have a positive effect before you met Sally? Wow, that's deep. Researchers have found that people who answered yes to questions such as these are significantly more likely to report being happy in their romantic relationship. Huh. Daddy issues. They say you date your mother or father, so that just means you pick to date your dad. Fundamentally interesting, Ched Dev. Very interesting. Very interesting. So, I can kind of see where they're coming from with this. I can see how being happy in the relationship means you need to be happy about yourself, with yourself first, before being happy with someone else. I think that's true. I do. I really do. I think the routine questions are super important. I used to ask income and then whether or not the person wanted children on first dates. Yeah, I mean, okay, that's when you come to like the point of meeting a partner. I think that can make sense, but if you're fundamentally not happy to begin with, and then you go before you even get into dating, I could see that as being like interesting. Alignment on the big stuff is really important, Fractal. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So nobody can make you happy until you're happy with yourself first. This is the daily inspirational quote. Absolutely. This relates to an important point about living a data-driven life. We data geeks may be most excited when we learn of a finding that goes against conventional wisdom or cliched advice. This plays to our natural need to know something that the rest of the world doesn't. But we data geeks must also accept when the data confirms conventional wisdom or cliched advice. We must be willing to go wherever the data takes us, even if that is to findings like those featured on daily inspirational quotes. I wonder how many people say they weren't depressed, but then they had kids, career woes, and now they're depressed, but it's not necessarily the cause by their partner. Good question. So here's the thing to disappoint all of you. Hello, Yost. You're late, but hello. You're not late. I started early. Nobody can make you happy until you're happy with yourself. Yep, so much this. You should be good on your own before jumping in a relationship. I agree. I really agree. So, as discovered by a team of 86 scientists and whoever writes daily inspirational quotes, one's own happiness outside a relationship is by far the biggest predictor of one's happiness in a romantic relationship. But what else predicts romantic happiness? What qualities of a mate are predictive of romantic happiness? Let's start with the qualities of one's mate that are least predictive. So here we go. 11,000 long-term couples, machine learning models found that the traits below in a mate were the least predictive of happiness. Race, religious affiliation, height. Wow, all the people saying that they want someone tall. Occupation, physical attractiveness, whatever that means, previous marital status, sexual tastes, and similarity to oneself. The irrelevant 8, as the author has called it, I was immediately struck by an overlap between the list of irrelevant traits and another data-driven list discussed in this chapter. So the article continues, it's quite long, here to talk about how highly desired qualities, basically the finding is that this is the finding. I can't summarize it better. In the dating market, people compete ferociously for mates with qualities that do not increase one's chances of romantic happiness. Interesting. So this is from...
Why?
It's why I'm surprised you lot tolerate me. We tolerate you, Sketch, because everybody is lovely in their own way. And everybody has their quirks. And we accept everybody's quirks here. That's the point. Height is so interesting to me. I've dated 2 men shorter than me. They were the ones always pointing it out and making it weird. No matter how much I tried to say, it did not matter. See, Fractal, I'm the one who's always talking about how height is completely irrelevant. And I'm the man. And every woman that I've dated has been shorter than me. And it doesn't matter to me. But they wanted, generally speaking, they were wanting someone who's taller than them. I just don't get it. I want a tall woman so she can be the big spoon. And I can be the jetpack. I like the isn't it small spoon? But jetpack is also nice. I like that sketch. So apparently we are dating wrong, and all the things that we look for on an app like Tinder, or sorry, not me, but people look for on Tinder, have literally no predictive value into how happy you will be in a relationship. Spoon life forever. I've dated men shorter than me, and every time they mentioned I couldn't care. Yes. So, out of the dating world and into the gaming world, chat. Who is excited about this? I don't know who saw this, but holy moly, chat. I am so excited about this. And there's a very simple reason I'm excited for it, and I will explain to you in a second. Razer has launched the Stream controller. And okay, it's $270, so it's not cheap. It's not cheap. but I would like to talk about 2 reasons why this thing is so cool. First of all, we don't even need to read the article. I can already show you the first reason is this. These things on the side, the knobs, the knobby knobs. Honestly, I have wanted knobs on my Stream Deck. Stream Deck doesn't have knobs, so I wanted to buy a loop deck. Loop deck is expensive, and now Dust, exactly, this is a loop deck with Razer branding. It's perfect. It's literally the perfect thing. I absolutely wanted it. I wanted the knobs. Doesn't it have a special dongle, Apple style? Not sure. Not sure about that. But basically, super cool. Super cool. I'd personally like to learn how to make my own controllers. Expect support for it in Atom. Oh, you're getting one already? What? You'll have one next week? For free? Please send it to me. Please send me one. So haptic LCD, blah, blah, blah. 3 tactile analog dials on either side. Holy moly. I'm so excited for that. However, the second thing I'm excited about is the fact that there's software. There is native plugins available for all kinds of stuff, like Adobe Premiere, Photoshop, etc., but also things like the lights and Spotify and everything. And honestly, the one thing that really irks me is volume in OBS. And I can't adjust the volume in OBS without tweaking the little slider thing. And that just really annoys me. And so I'm so happy that this thing has knobs, because I've been looking for knobs for a long time. And there just hasn't been an affordable solution. Okay, it's granted $270 is still a bit expensive. So I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna commit to buying this right now. So yeah, Loop Deck is insane. Like, I looked at the Loop Deck stuff. Apparently it's only shipping in the fall, but it has like some really cool software with it.
Why?
You spoke with a guy at TwitchCon at the Razer booth. Apparently he was on the lookout for devs. Dust, please. send me. Can you send me the link? Can you send me a link to him? Can you put us in touch? I'll say that I'm developing I'll say that I'm developing stream analytics, and I need it for testing analytics stuff. I'm a developer. I'll happily talk about it on stream. Anyway, the knobs would be amazing. Yes, and I realize I'm saying knob a lot, but okay, dials. Should I say dials? Is that better? Your house contains every piece of VR equipment ever because dev husband. Fractal. Yeah. You're a sucker for nice knobs, which is why you like synths. Maddie's gonna pinch and zoom graphs using knobs. Yeah, I would love to, like, you know, what are they called? Twiddle the dials? Turn the dials? And then, like, have, like, zoom effects in the stream and stuff. That would be so cool. Like, honestly, like panning and zooming the video and everything, like, for stream effects. Like, I'm super excited about this. So anyway, I can't etch a sketch either. That would be a fun stream game. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. I just hope I can somehow pick one up for less money, to be honest. 270 is, like, as a startup founder, that's a bit steep for me. So yeah, it's also good because the other reason, so okay, there's actually 3 reasons I'm excited about it. 1, it has dials on it. 2, the software is meant to be really good because Loop Deck makes really good tools already. And 3, there hasn't been a real competitor for Elgato for a long time. So the Stream Deck hasn't really, the V2 didn't really make any innovation from the V1. They didn't really make it that much better, right? And Elgato doesn't really have any incentive to make it better because so many people want that product because it's the only one that does the thing that it does. Realistically, I know that there are other alternatives with macro pads and custom keypads and custom controllers, and there's a lot of other options, but basically the standard streamer setup will include a Stream Deck in it because it's just plug and play, right? And what's exciting for me is the fact that it's going to be now competition for Elgato because it's Razer, right? Which means that gamers are going to start looking at them as an alternative. And that also means that Elgato is going to be forced to innovate and try new things. And so the prices might even come down, right? I think it's a good thing, really. I think it's a good thing. And I don't typically talk about like products and stuff on Data Cafe, but this is a bit of an exception because it's perfectly aligned about streaming gear. Like this is, you know, we're on a stream, so we might as well talk about streaming gear a little bit. But anyway, you know what I'd love? A mechanical keyboard with LCD keys. Sketch, that sounds very complicated to build. I mean, the Stream Deck is an LCD screen with buttons. What? Excuse me? Is that real? Is that are you actually serious? Did someone just donate 146 francs? What? Sorry, chat. I need to check this. What? Chat, what just happened? Did someone actually just drop a donation? 146 francs. 146 in euros is 150 euros. Oh my god, it's real. It's actually real. Holy smokes! What? Cody? What? Cody, are you crazy? No way. Cody, what? Now I have to buy it. Oh wow, Cody. Thank you. Thank you very much, Cody. That is beyond kind. I cannot believe that. That is wow. Wow. For the knobs. Oh no. Oh. Okay, so it was 1 second, chat. I think I can actually check it too. Yes. It's Cody's not, Cianhorn is not just saying that they did it. It's, I have the email to confirm it. So Cianhorn, thank you. I can buy so many knobs with that money. Honestly, that is so kind and so generous. I really appreciate that. I can't emphasize enough. Like, that is really absolutely, I'm completely floored. Absolutely floored. Wow. Wow. I can buy so many knobs with that money. Yes, Sketch, we shall keep everything PG-13 here as much as possible. I've set my channel to mature, I think. I don't remember if I have. Welcome in, Ollie. I can't tell if that's music or static. Never mind, it's gone. Ah, well, you know, it's probably just Twitch encoding something, right? I just received a extremely generous almost $150 donation. So I am just, yeah, I'm just, I'm floored. I'm floored. I'm very excited for this. I'm excited for knobs. What else is new? Something else that excited me is an email that I received yesterday about DataGrip, which is my favorite IDE ever, because I use DataGrip every single day. Every single day I use DataGrip. What do I use DataGrip for? For accessing all of my databases, whether it's part of my startup, whether it's stuff for stream analysis projects. I have a little Postgres thing locally, whether it's accessing the project that I'm doing on stream just in numbers. I use DataGrip for all of those things. And DataGrip came up with the single most amazing feature that I have wanted for years since I've been using DataGrip. It's been like 4 years that I've wanted to have this, and they finally did it. Multiple CSV files. Oh my freaking... This is so good. How does DataGrip work with Snowflake? I haven't found anything that plays real nice with Snowflake yet. I did try DataGrip with Snowflake once before, and also with BigQuery, and it seemed to work just fine. You're hyped for the CSV stuff too. Yes, multiple CSV files. So you previously could only import one CSV file at a time. If you had multiple CSVs, you had to merge them first using an online tool. So I would go to merge CSV files like this, and I would go to my favorite site, which is mergecsv.com, and I would just take all my CSVs and merge it, and then I would download it into one CSV. And now I don't have to do that anymore because they have a multi-CSV import thing. It's just like absolutely amazing. Might have to try and get this approved. Honestly, DataGrip is insanely awesome. Most of JetBrains IDEs have DataGrip within it. Like that's right, Sketch, that's correct. I just run DataGrip on its own because I don't need any of the other stuff. Like I don't need PyStorm, or what's it called? No, PyStorm? Is it called PyStorm? What are the JetBrains products called? Let's check out. Okay, we've got PHP Storm, PyCharm, Rider, RubyMine, WebStorm, Golang, Fleet, Dataspell, DataGrip, CLine, AppCode. They've got some .NET stuff, and they've got other languages and framework stuff. Yeah, it's just super cool. Fleet is pretty interesting. I haven't used it extensively. I tried it out a little bit. But I basically use DataGrip. And so I am super pumped for this because this changes things immensely for me, really. You got access to Fleet, maybe? I may also be in another beta that I'm not allowed to talk about. I work at a company in the dark ages, so life is hard. I'm sure you can write them, Dust. I'm sure you can get in. See, Steffi also got access. I mean, if I can get access, surely you can get access to it. How often do you access a database from front end anyway? Ollie has Fleet. I didn't like it. Oh, interesting. Yeah, as a TypeScript dev, VS Code is where it's at. Fair enough. I can look. Ultimately, everyone can use whatever they want. That's the thing. You can use whatever tool you want. You can use whatever framework you want.
Another
you can use
reason for insisting on Intel Inside.
Exactly. You can use whatever code you want. You can use whatever languages you want. You can use whatever hardware you want. No one cares. No one should care. You should be able to use the thing that you like. Like Excel.
What is this? It's Microsoft Excel.
Exactly.
Who's that Pokemon?
Or SQLite. Great Pokemon. I would like faster, more native app for my IDE, but I'm working in Node and TypeScript mostly. Okay. Rugmat, there is a new meme, actually. Apart from the Y, which we've seen a few times today. I thought it would be funny to add a Y meme. There is one other meme that I added. It is a download of a clip that is very popular on my channel. No, Y is simple, is just based off trigger. Y is only based off trigger. Oh wait, but that's... Wait a second. There's a problem with it. 1 second. There is an issue. That's better. Okay, I fixed it. So, the second thing that Data Grip released, so there's a couple other things in the release that are interesting, but there is something else in here that made me also very curious. Ooh, the clip command doesn't work? Why not? Uh-oh. Did you... Oh, you broke it with... Oh, you broke it with Pokemon. Yeah, you broke it with Pokemon. That's the issue. Let me restart it. Yeah. Okay. Should be good again, Rugmat. I have to disable the Pokemon trigger. I don't think there's any other way now. Because I think the Pokemon one has some kind of fault in it. If you clip, however, I have added a new thing that if someone does create a clip, it should actually notify me and play a sound. Let me check my videos, 1 second. Meme hints. I mean, it's basic. We've got the entire claw representing. That was a very short clip. It's a very popular clip because it's very unique and probably won't happen again. Ever. I would say. If that makes sense. What was I looking for? Hold on a second. I was just looking to see if it worked. Did anyone clip today? Oh, someone did clip today.
Why?
Why Memebox broke?
Why?
It broke because... I don't know, actually. I think Pokemon breaks it, but I don't know why Pokemon breaks it. Okay, so the thing I'm excited about, chat, is this line here, which is really innocuous. It's super small. Oh, but now you're gonna break it again, Steffi. Oh, we got SQLite again. Now if you use any other thing, it's not gonna work. Any other command now, it's not gonna work. Oh. What are the bunnies up to? See? Now it's broken again. Now it's broken again. Good job, chat. Good job. Now we gotta start it again. I'm trying to get it back into color. There we go. Okay. So, the thing is, chat, the thing is that the memes are part of the channel. Did I install the nightly? No, I installed like the pre-release version, Steffi, which should not be broken. Please don't play
Who's that Pokemon?
No! Steffi! Stop breaking meme bugs. Stop breaking meme bugs. Okay. I may have to time you out, Steffi. I can't ban you. I can't ban you because if I ban you, then there's a good chance that the ban will be shared across all of the different channels. And Ollie, you probably won't be able to use the Pokemon because some of the memes are exclusively reserved for VIPs in the channel. With the new shared ban feature. So why am I excited about DuckDB? If any of you remember a stream that I did probably 3-4 weeks ago, I talked about DuckDB, and I talked about how DuckDB has a crazy, amazing thing that it's in group by. It's called, hold on, DuckDB group by all. So instead of writing, why is that not in here? That's weird. Is it like in their blog or something? Maybe it's in the blog. I don't understand. Where did this come out? Quack TU all. But basically, DuckDB has a function that allows you to do group by all. Oh yeah, here. Look at this. So they have like select star exclude, which means you can have all the columns except a few, and group by all, which is just so powerful. Rather than writing group by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, you can just group by all, and it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. So I'm very excited because DataGrip now has basic support for DuckDB, which means that now I can actually connect to a DuckDB instance with DataGrip more easily, which means this could open the door for actually testing out DuckDB as a database and seeing how cool it is. A clip, 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 and a clap. And then you've got your Twitch clip. Did someone clip today? There should have been an alert. There should have been an alert played, and it didn't play. And I saw a clip in the list, and I'm not sure why it didn't. Not sure why it didn't. Anyhow, which means hype. Thank you very much for clipping, whoever clipped today. I don't know who it was. I just saw that there was a clip. So, I'm very excited for this, and would anyone be interested in seeing DuckDB? Like us taking a closer look at DuckDB, at using queries like select star exclude, or using group by all. Ooh, a clip. We have a clip. There's an issue. There's an issue. There's an issue. There's an issue. We could just keep looping this over and over. There's an issue. My company wouldn't get it for another 10 years, but still curious. Okay, Fractal. That's good to know. Stay to your SQL knowledge instead of messing up CSS grids. Hey, I didn't mess up any grids. I fixed them. I've been working on this mini project called Colorbox because I would like to have a new channel point redemption that allows you to claim a color. Sounds like an alarm for when the server goes down. Yeah, we just need to overlay some like alarm sound in the background. Do I have an alarm sound? I don't know. I don't have like a siren. I don't have like a siren. What's this do? Oh, I forgot about that. I have so many sound effects here that I completely forgot about. That's funny. Okay, so very excited about that. I don't know what Mimer SQL is. I'm actually kind of curious what that is. What is Mimer SQL? Cross-platform relational database for developers of exceptional solutions for cellular phones? They should have just called it Meme or SQL. Meme SQL for storing your memes in a database. I don't understand this website. This is like super corporate. This is literally the opposite of DuckDB's website. Look, let's look at DuckDB, okay? If we go to DuckDB, this is DuckDB's website. It's like literally the opposite.
Right join as Thebus join is rating with a party of 1.
Ah, right join. Right join. So glad to see you. So glad to see you. How are you, right join? Let me check on the bunnies. I want to make sure they're not doing... I don't know what they're doing. They're doing probably some... Corporate bull crap speak always puts me off immediately. Yeah, I wouldn't even want to try Mimer or Memer SQL because of, yeah, this. However, I have to say I am disappointed that there's no dark mode. Karen is part German right now. Right join is die bitch join. Yeah, she has like a weird... Yeah. Can we see some right joins with DuckDB? Maybe. You know, right join, I actually thought of you the other day because I had written an entire query out, like, I don't know, 12, 14 lines or so. And I used a left join and I actually needed to flip it around. I needed to flip the two tables order and I actually changed to a right join. Solrak, thank you for the follow. I hope you're enjoying the stream. Yeah, so I ended up changing to a right join. I didn't keep it. Just to be very honest with you, I didn't keep it there. Look, let me just be serious for a second. I didn't keep the right join in there. I just changed it from left to right because at the time it made sense to just change it to a right join. But of course it never makes sense to use a right join. So yeah. Fractal, if you're not aware, it's a bit of a meme on the channel with, you know, left join is the best join. And the reason for that is because we play a little game called Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Except it's Who Wants to Be an Amazing SQL Analyst person. And I get to choose which answer I think is correct. Stupid Tableau always reverting to right join. I have trauma. Oh no. So I don't know. I mean, I seem to get this wrong a lot. But right join, you know, you're here. You're here. I feel like it's a sign, you know? It's a sign that today, if I chose answer D, it could be. It could be the right answer today. I know it's been wrong in the past, but we could try. We could try. Left join has also joined. Let's see. No, it's still wrong. I'm sorry. What can I say? It's wrong. It's wrong. I'm sorry. It's wrong. The right join is not the best join. Okay, 1 second. Can we do it over again? One more. Okay. I've been given a redo. I'm allowed to choose one more time. I think the question creators programmed the question wrong. Oh, really? See, left join is here, and I think probably... Hey, it's correct! See? It's actually correct. That's the thing. It's actually correct. It's correct. Oh my gosh. Welcome in, left join. We have a winner. Thank you very much for joining. Left join is the best join. Oh, I need to protect myself, it seems. Excuse me, chat.
GDPR on.
All right. So, I've been asked to take over Matty Two Shoes' stream. I am anonymous streamer 614-792-7416-390. And apparently Matty Two Shoes was talking about meme sequel. I don't know exactly. I think the next thing on the list was something like I think it was this one. Yeah, exactly. It was about AI again. SSN leaked. Fortunately, that is not my SSN. That is a pseudo anonymized random number for referencing my online persona. And no problem at all. And Dust, I do know that Matty Two Shoes has had some issue in the past with leaking certain types of information, but we've taken the appropriate measures and protections now, so not a problem. I believe this article, I don't know the details because I was not reading it, but apparently Google's DeepMind has started to do interesting work on YouTube about auto chapters. So for those of you who do not know, DeepMind is one of Google's divisions. I believe Matty Two Shoes was mentioning this earlier. It's one of Google's divisions that does a lot of AI work. And they've been working on video compression, which is interesting for sure. But for streamers, I think the really interesting thing is about auto chapters. So if you upload your VOD to YouTube, like Matty Two Shoes does, I believe Matty Two Shoes has a command for that. That's right. There we go. There are tons of different ways to do that, but ultimately once you upload it, you're going to be or you stream on YouTube, for example, and it becomes a VOD afterwards, you have to do the chapter information yourself. Now, if Google was able to auto-create chapters for you based on the content that it sees in the video, wouldn't that be pretty awesome? And that is actually a little bit the idea. Here it is. Most
Recently, Heyo, I'm back. Ludwig will be pleased. So this is actually not a new thing. This is not a new thing. Rugmat, if you'd like another hint, you're looking for a very unique clip. It's very unique. Very, very unique. So this is not a new thing. DeepMind is behind auto chapters, which are available for 8 million videos today. 8 million is not that many, right? I mean, it's not that many when you consider the amount of YouTube videos that are on the platform, right? 8 million is a drop in the bucket, literally. However, they plan to scale this feature to more than 80 million auto-generated chapters over the next year. How many YouTube videos are uploaded per year? Okay. Let's find out. Total number of people, 300 hours of video. How do I find the number of videos? Financials? No. Okay, well basically there's 300 hours of video uploaded to YouTube every minute, which is pretty insane actually. But basically they want to have auto chapters available for everything. So the idea is that they use a transformer model that generates the chapter segments and timestamps in a two-step process, and then a multimodal model which processes text, visual, and audio helps generate the chapter titles as well. So it's kind of crazy. They don't even just generate chapters, they actually generate chapter titles as well that are able to summarize what happened. That's really cool. Like super cool. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that being available for my YouTube VODs, because honestly, if you have a VOD of 3-4 hours, no one wants to scrub through looking at, you know, what happened at where, right? And you can make stream markers for Twitch, but then those markers don't translate into YouTube territory. Like those markers don't become chapters. If someone could actually build something, ooh, this is actually an interesting idea. If someone could build something that translates
Rugman, did you distort the stream and choke me at the same time? That's awful. Ugh. That's terrible. Did anyone clip recently? Because I feel like the clip thing should work. Ego mode? You mean big brain? I'm super smart.
So I think it could be really interesting to have a system that takes stream markers from Twitch and puts them into YouTube's chapters. Twitch stream markers into YouTube chapters. That would be insanely cool. That would honestly be the super coolest thing ever. Honestly. That would seriously be... That would be so dope. It's actually so dope. I know who could probably code that. Rox could probably code that. Because Rox is really into the YouTube API because of the whole thumbnail testing thing that he's building. Chillaxathor, yo! Welcome in! Thank you for sending good vibes. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I hope you're doing well. I hope you had a great week. I would really love this. I need to make a note of this. Chat. I need to write this down for later. I have to think about that. Okay, so back to this. That was the end of the article. I don't know when this will be available. They want to scale it eventually, but yeah, I don't know when. I don't know when it's gonna happen. Finally Friday, yay! Hiking tomorrow. In the forest? That sounds lovely. Do you have a lot of ticks in your area? So we're in, here in Switzerland, we have a lot of ticks in the forest. So we have to regularly get our, well, regularly, I mean, we have to get those jabs for Lyme disease and the other one. What's it called? The other tick disease, borealis or something? I don't remember what it's called. But yeah, tick bites are a thing here. There's like some regions that have like a lot of ticks and some that have less, but I wish you a lovely hike in the forest. That sounds very nice. We are 2 hours away from our deadline. I think we might actually make it, chat. We might actually make it. To be honest, I don't know. I'm a baby hiker. Aw. Are you taking like a hiking route that's technically flat? Is it like completely flat? Anyhow, so that was an interesting tidbit. Tick-borne encephalitis. Thank you. That's the one, yes. Yeah, Lyme disease. Yeah, right. Lyme disease you can get anyway. All right, so speaking of sexy things, there's this article that came out, and I don't know if this is a meme article or not. It's in Harvard Business Review, so I think not. I don't think it's a meme article, but the title is very memey. To be very honest with all of you, the title is super meme for me. Is data scientist still the sexiest job of the 21st century? Who even said that data scientist was the sexiest job in the first place? Okay. So basically, this is because 10 years ago, Thomas H. Davenport and DJ Patil, which honestly, DJ Patil sounds like a music DJ to me. 10 years ago, they said that being a data scientist was the sexiest job of the 21st century. What does sexy even mean? Yeah, exactly. What job is even sexy? Like, what does that even mean? A decade later, does the claim even sound like you're working to earn money? Like, I don't understand. It doesn't make any sense. I wish you all a lovely weekend and rest. I just dropped to greet you, going to faint in bed and need to wake up early. Yeah, I also have to get up very early tomorrow, which is why I've capped the stream to midnight. Thank you for stopping by, Chill. I appreciate that. It's nice to see you again. I always remember your amazing hand-holding emotes in the air. Yeah. Flamelit! Let's go! Let's go! It's amazing. Exactly. With the glitch cat. That's awesome. Take care and have a nice hike in the forest. Look forward to hearing about that next week. So, okay. 10 years ago, there was an article called Data Scientist Sexiest Job of the 21st Century. Okay? This is an article that came out 10 years ago. Okay? I don't know why this is sexy. Like, taking out treasure out of unstructured data is literally doesn't sound sexy to me. I don't know if that's the right word. Okay. Of course, at a time there was like quant, which was like super big. Like, if you've ever watched the show Billions, and they talk a lot about quantitative analysts who are basically analyzing the stock market. I don't know. For me, like, this is very odd. You're reading your last free article for this month. That's great. So 10 years ago, this was kind of like a exclusive thing to be a data scientist. Nobody could really find data scientists at the time. At the time, we defined data scientists as a high-ranking professional with the training and curiosity to make discoveries in the world of big data. They've used the word big data. Let's count the keywords in this article. So big data is there. Click streams, social media, images, and speech. Wasn't a well-defined career path, blah, blah, blah. Blah, 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 blah. The most common qualification in our informal survey of 35 data scientists at the time was a PhD in experimental physics. What? Really? Okay. Most had PhDs in some scientific field, were exceptional at math, and knew how to code. Yeah, but they don't understand anything about the business world, and that's the problem. Tons of people from the academic world coming into the business world and then making some kind of assumptions about how stuff works, which is all in theory and not in practice, right? Blah, 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 blah. A decade later, the job is in more demand than ever. AI is increasingly popular. By 2019, postings for data scientists on Indeed had risen by 256%. Data science will see more growth than almost any other field between now and 2029. Okay, so that's good. Median salary for an experienced data scientist in California is approaching $200,000 a year. Wow. Many of the same headaches remained. Yes, they spend all of their time cleaning and wrangling data. That has not changed for anyone. Absolutely not. What's interesting here is why they think this is sexy. Let's skip to this part. Where is the sexy bit? Why are they saying this is sexy if they're not somehow concluding that it's sexy? Okay, I just want to comment, right? I want to comment. It's very simple. If you...
Finite Singularity is rating with a party of 31.
Finite Singularity! Let's go! Jim, thank you for the follow. Were you not following before? Welcome in, Finite Singularity. What were you doing?
Blue is going to win it. So we now have determined that once and for all, right join is the best SQL join. I don't know how Maddie is going to feel about this. But
no.
It has, exactly, Rascal. It has been settled.
No, that's not definitive. There needs to be a rematch. Finite. That one game does not settle that right join is the best join. That's not how it works. We even played a clip earlier. We even played a game. Fancy Yellow, thank you very much for the follow. Your stats are messed up with my account. I trim my list from time to time and then refollow. My apologies for messing up your stats. That's no problem, Jim. No problem at all. Sounded very official to me. No, Yoast. No. You can't come in here saying right join, best join raid, and then expect... you can't do that. There was a winner and there was a loser. What more do you want? Rascal, you rascal. I do feel like there should be sort of a... I think there should be a rematch. Honestly, I think there should be a rematch in the sense of like best out of 3, you know, something like that. Best out of 3 maybe. Because to me, right join just still doesn't have a place. It just doesn't have a place in the world. It doesn't have a place in the world. When right join wins outright again, you'll ask for best out of 5. No, I didn't say that. I didn't say that. I did not say that at all. No. I did not say that at all. I said, for now, I would ask for best out of 3 because that seems fair. You know, with rock, paper, scissors, we also do best out of 3. You know, it's just... Ooh, 69! Ooh. I don't think it works that way. Anyway, Finite, I hope you had a great stream. What were you doing, Ordsy? I caught your stream in the beginning, but I don't... What did you... Coffee and Code, creating a DIY controllable key light setup. ESP32, Ionic. Wow, that sounds... Oof. There are a lot of things that you don't think it works that way.
Garbage.
Yeah, absolute garbage. That's what that is. Absolute garbage. Everyone knows that right joins are not the solution. In most cases. Although I was saying earlier that I have used the right join this week, but I didn't like it. It felt wrong. I felt dirty. I immediately had to shower afterwards. Like, it just felt wrong. It felt wrong. Like, writing the word right already felt weird. Just felt weird. So yeah, what we were talking about, Finite, you were continuing work on the Poor Man Elgato Keylight project. It's okay. There are people who can help you with those feelings about right join. It's only a right join when driving on the left-hand side of the road. Oh, TD. Fancy Yellow. I don't think we've seen each other here before. But thank you for the follow, and I hope you're enjoying the stream so far. We were just reading...
Why?
We were just reading about why the data scientist is the sexiest job of the 21st century. Now, the problem I have with this article is...
If right join is wrong, I want to be right join or something.
Thank you, Karen. What I have as a problem is data scientists, they're saying data science is the sexiest job of the 21st century. The problem is that in our research for the original article, many data scientists noted they spend much of their time cleaning and wrangling data, and that is still the case despite a few advances in using AI itself for data management improvements. You're telling me the sexiest job in the world spends a large portion of their time cleaning and wrangling data? Because that does not sound sexy to me at all. Zero. And I don't know if that's unique, but I don't think that's very sexy. Yes, also I'm an analyst. My job is to be the DS garbage man, but they don't use us. That's right, Fractal. That's right. Back when I was working as an analyst, now as a founder, I don't do so much analysis work as I would like to. But back when I was an analyst, this was my job. My job was to clean stuff up and make things nice, and data scientists, you know, think about it. If that's sexy, then they must mean Excel is sexy. True. But wait a second, Steffi, are you saying that a Microsoft product is sexy? Are you really saying that, Steffi? Is that what I think you're saying? Are you saying a Microsoft product is actually sexy? 'Cause that sounds a bit wrong. Not gonna lie. It sounds a bit wrong to me. But anyway, this article for me is included in the Data Cafe because it is a terrible article, because they do not actually state the reason about why they think data scientists is still the sexiest job of the 21st century. And therefore, Thomas and DJ Patil, Thomas H. Davenport and DJ Patil, I'm very disappointed in you, because you had 10 years to come up with a convincing reason about why the data scientist should be the sexiest job of the 21st century. Still, because that's what you said 10 years ago. And the summary of this article is, we have seen both continuity and change in the data science role. And I think I know, chat, I know the appropriate meme as a reaction to this. There is only one thing that we can say in this situation about this article, about what this article actually is. There is only one thing that can be said, and you know what it is, chat. And I know that someone is going to do it. And I think it's the first time in the Data Cafe. Garbage. But this article is garbage.
Or...
Yeah.
Or... Yeah.
It's garbage.
Drop in and just smack the lip. Drop down. Snap.
And
very disappointed.
Cardona and Mayor Bowser and Chancellor
very disappointed.
Berman. You know, thank you for joining us as well. And for families across the country.
Show me what you got.
Oh, I've got something for you, Rugmat. I've got something for you. I've got something for you. Is it a meme? It's not a meme. It's the next and final article of today. But it's big. It's a doozy. Do you want a hint for the... Okay. I will give you a hint. The hint for the final meme that has not been revealed has to do with the swimming stream. The clip is outside. The clip is indeed outside. So I think you can probably guess what it is. And Ferrewa, thank you very much for the follow. I appreciate it. We are about to get into we are about to get into thank you for triggering that, Steffi. You can also trigger it using just Kanban, or even Agile will also trigger it. Because, you know, Kanban is just Agile, right? Rogmat, can I do that when I get back? We're gonna take a very short 2-minute break. I have to refill my water before we dive into this amazing, insane, there's a timeout cooldown on the meme. Before we dive into this absolutely insane, huge, massive story, which will be the last story of today, I will come back as Cute Bunny. I promise, Rugmat. No more Q. There's always a Q. Scrum or fail. I will be right back shortly.
A clip, 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 and a clap. And then you've got your Twitch clip.
You just drop in and just smack the lip, whoop-ah, drop down, snap, ah.
Show me what you got.
Jim, you heard them. Said, show me what you got.
Show me what you got. I want to see what you got. Oh boy.
Another powerful reason for insisting on Intel Inside.
We're going outside!
Wow.
Same day delivery.
Jeff Bezos, the richest man in the world.
Cute bunny on.
You can't stream me back to my childhood.
I see the memes are in full force today. Insisting on Intel Inside? I'd rather insist on ARM Inside. Hype, yo! Oh boy, chat.
That really blew my mind.
Ooh!
Like,
Thank you for 90 million lumensing me.
I'll just read the chat. Read the chat and wrap it up. But just read the chat and wrap it up.
I think chat is having trouble keeping up. It looks like.
Another powerful reason for insisting on
Or the memes are having trouble
Intel
keeping
Inside.
up. Matt, I think Rugmat, you're just too fast with the memes. That's the problem.
I think I am getting a text message.
Oh, am I? Really? Wait, let me check.
There it
Because of the queue. Get rid of the queue. I can't.
Get some help.
I can't get rid of the queue. If I get rid of the queue, it will be pure chaos. It will be pure chaos. We've seen it before. We know. We know it's pure chaos. If we do without the queue, it will be just pure chaos. And we can't have that. The screen will be littered with memes. And there's no way to easily toggle the queue on and off. So if Noob builds a way to turn the queue on and off, then I'm happy to have a channel point redemption to turn off the queue. How about that? Then you can pay money to turn the queue off. I mean virtual money. Anyway, chat. Biggest story of the night. Just trigger Pokemon. No, that breaks meme box. That doesn't stop the queue. We are about to launch into the main part of the stream today, where we're going to dig deep into a huge story about a company that all of us have heard of. 4 letters. 4 letters. Just like the word Q, followed by 4 silent letters. But this company has 4 letters and is not silent at all. But they were silently plotting in the background the last several years. And it is
none other than Uber! So I don't know who here has never heard of Uber. If you've never heard of Uber before, then please tell me now so that I can cover who Uber is, what Uber is. Uber broke laws, I'm shocked. What's Uber? Rogmat. Okay. Uber is a car sharing, ride sharing company at its core. But they've also branched out into food services with Uber Eats. You've taken an Uber. Well, that may no longer be the case for a while, Rogmat. Do they have your data? Yes, they most certainly do. Here is the title of this article. Uber broke laws, duped police, and secretly lobbied governments, leak reveals. More than 124,000 confidential documents were leaked to The Guardian. The Guardian is an independent newspaper in the UK. Uber is illegal in Australia. Yes, and in light of what is here, a lot of is going to happen. A lot of things are going to happen, I think, in the next few months. But let's dive in first, okay? So basically there were 124,000 confidential documents leaked to The Guardian. The Guardian is independent. They're not paid for by any kind of big corporate. They're not sponsored by any big corporate, so they can basically do whatever they want. They can say whatever they want, and that is why The Guardian broke this story, or the confidential person who, the person who leaked the confidential documents did a good thing by taking it to The Guardian. The files show lobby attempts to Joe Biden, back when he was not president, by the way, before. Olaf Scholz and George Osborne, who we will find out who those people are. Emmanuel Macron, who is also, by the way, at the time, not president of France, secretly aided Uber lobbying. The company had a kill switch during raids to stop the police seeing data on their machines. And the former Uber CEO told executives that violence guarantees success. Olaf is Chancellor of Germany. Right, Olaf Scholz. Thank you. So this is kind of a doozy. And I don't want to go over everything. I will link the article as usual in my Patreon post at the end. If you would like to go read the stream recap, it'll be available sometime on the weekend. You can go read the past stream recaps for other data cafes if you want to see what other stories we've talked about. But this is a doozy. That's why I've set aside quite a lot of time to go through it, because I also haven't had time to look through it. But 124,000 confidential documents, that is a lot of documents to scan and understand, and you know. So Jay Walter, hey yo, welcome in, nice to see you as well. So why is this relevant? Why is this relevant to us? Basically, the gist of it is that Uber's general practices are extremely aggressive towards its goal of expansion at the cost of data, like data privacy, at the cost of people's security and livelihood. This is not news, Rugmat. But yeah, I've set aside quite a bit of a time for this. Now, the leak is talking about a 5-year period when Uber was run by Travis Kalanick, who basically tried to force the service into the world, even breaking laws or regulations for it. Despite the fierce global backlash, data shows how Uber tried to shore up support by discreetly courting prime ministers, presidents, billionaires, oligarchs, and media barons. Okay, so what are the Uber files? In order to understand, you first have to understand what these 124,000 documents are. They were leaked to The Guardian by Mark McGann, which is Uber's former chief lobbyist. That's right. Before you understand recursion, you need to understand recursion. Before you understand the Uber files, you need to understand what the Uber files are. And basically this data dump is emails, iMessages, and WhatsApp exchanges between all of the big senior executives, presentations, memos, invoices, everything. The leaked records have 40 countries and span 2013 to 2017. So this is already 5-year-old data, by the way. Wait, you're telling me big, large corps are corrupt? Yeah, no one's shocked about this, but the extent to how deep this goes is shocking, I promise you. To facilitate a global investigation in the public interest. And this is the big part. So The Guardian has received 124,000 documents from Mark McGann. The Guardian has shared the data with 180 journalists in 29 different countries. I just want that to sink in for a second. There's basically 180 plus the Guardian journalists, so a 200 odd team of journalists across 30 countries going through all of this data from 5 years of extremely, I would say, corrupt and despicable behavior on behalf of Uber. And is it legal to share? I don't know. TD, I don't know. There may be like some illegal ways of obtaining it. I don't know if it's legal to obtain. Of course, Uber has made a statement about it. The response from July 10th, which is 12 days ago, is we have not and will not make excuses for past behavior that is clearly not in line with our present values. Instead, we ask the public to judge us by what we've done over the last 5 years and what we will do in the years to come. Which is basically like, that's the old me. That's like Uber saying, that's the old me. Like, oh, I cheated on you in the past and it was with your best friend and it happened like 3 times and I'm really sorry. That's basically what Uber is saying, which is not a good look. Not a good look. So, I specifically don't want to go into everything, but I want to go into two things that are kind of data related. That's why I'm talking about it. So the first thing I would like to look at is the kill switch. So the kill switch is a really, for all intents and purposes, is a very interesting business mechanic that for sure has its use or place in a business context in certain places and situations. Apple's newest iOS release actually has a sort of hardware kill switch mode. If you believe that you're being attacked by ransomware, there's a kind of similar mechanic that Apple uses to lock down iOS mode. I think it's called lockdown. Yeah, it's this one. Apple's new lockdown mode. So this is a kind of similar thing to kill switch. Basically, a lockdown mode is designed to fight industrial strength hacking. So basically, if you think you're being targeted, then yeah. Anyway, so what is the kill switch? Now, in some countries, Uber was having a problem by trying to get their drivers to drive for Uber at the same time as taxi drivers targeting them with assault or even murder. Hey, Exegete, can I report the Facebook app for targeting me with ads based on my search history? Probably not, TD. I don't know. If it's against their terms, then yes, but you'd have to find where they're in breach of the terms, and you'd have to prove it, which I don't know if that's possible. It might be in their terms that they actually do that. So basically, Exegete, welcome in. Nice to see you, by the way. So Uber's having a lot of problems in these taxi markets. And the thing is that Uber was in some of these cases not legal. They were operating underneath the radar in a lot of countries, or when they were actively against, actively working against regulators at the time. We are not legal in many countries. We should avoid making antagonistic statements. We have officially become pirates. So there's a lot of weird... How's the cafe? Can I get a rail espresso? Rail espresso? Is that like an espresso on rails? I've never heard of that. So basically, they had a lot of problems. And so it would happen that in some cities, Uber's offices would get raided because it was basically an unlicensed taxi company, right? So in like New York, you need like a token, or this taxi token, the yellow cab token thing, whatever. And so Uber offices in dozens of countries were repeatedly being raided. So what did Uber do? They developed a sophisticated tool called a kill switch. Basically, when an Uber office was raided, or if they knew that the office was about to get raided, the company executives sent instructions to IT people to cut off access to the company's main data systems, which would prevent the authorities from gathering evidence. And this is crazy. The leaked files suggest the technique, signed off by Uber's lawyers, was deployed at least 12 times during raids in France, the Netherlands, Belgium, India, Hungary, and Romania. These are not small markets. These are markets with millions and millions of people on the platform, and they actively hindered police investigations with this kill switch. How did the kill switch work? Very simple. The protocols which did not delete data were vetted and approved by Uber's legal department, and the former Uber CEO was never charged in relation to obstruction of justice or a related offense. Apparently, it stopped using it in 2017. What kind of background is this? At what point does Uber become decentralized so they cannot be shut down? Sounds like the Nerve film. I'm not familiar with the Nerve film, but anyway. So this is a big thing because there are these kill switch protocols, and these protocols are like super interesting, and sure, they're not using it anymore. Exactly, Steffi, because the next sentence is the thing, right? So they stopped using it in 2017. That's what they say. The problem is that one of the people involved in designing the kill switch, Pierre Dimitri Gore-Coty, ran Uber's operations in Western Europe at the time. He is now running Uber Eats and sits on the company's executive team of 11 people. So you're telling me the guy that partly developed this kill switch system is now in charge of an entirely other business unit? And they're not using it anymore. Gore-Coty said in a statement he regretted some of the tactics used to get regulatory reform for ride-sharing in the early days. I was young and inexperienced and too often took direction from superiors with questionable ethics. Very interesting. Very interesting. So, that's the first thing, is about the kill switch. That is very much data related because it's very interesting. The second thing is about violence. And this has nothing to do with data, but I want to highlight this. And I need to switch the music because it is weird. It is very weird, Chad. I think even someone wrote next track or something before. 1 second. I just took orders. Yeah, exactly. Like, you know, you just took orders at the time and now you're in charge of like a entire business unit that is like making a lot of money, and you're telling me that you didn't use this at all since? At all? Zero? I just don't believe it. I just simply don't believe it. I don't think it's possible. Okay. New music style, chat. There we go. So, I want to talk about violence. The reason I want to talk about violence is because violence is really common nowadays. We read about violence all the time. We see what's happening in Ukraine. We read regularly news articles about people being attacked, stabbed, shot. And so violence is all around us. But violence is not the answer. Conflict through violence doesn't achieve anything. And it makes me feel ill and really sick to my stomach to read about a company that condoned violence. And this isn't just a myth or someone saying, oh, I think violence is okay. This is a company that propagated that. And basically, Uber's direct employees... Can I zoom in? Yes. Can I zoom in? Uber's direct employees were always in the focus of Uber. Uber always tried to protect their employees. So they had been told to avoid displaying Uber swag in public and to work outside of the office during the protests, with operations run from a remote emergency situation room. They planned for this. When they knew that there was going to be violence, they planned to the extent that they hired security. They had an emergency situation room somewhere. And the problem is that the drivers didn't have that kind of protection. And this was like the taxi wars, right? So Uber doesn't count them as employees. So basically, they just kind of fed them to the wolves because they thought that the attacks would be good for them. When attacks occurred, Uber moved swiftly to leverage the violence in a campaign to pressure governments to rewrite laws that stymied Uber's chances of expansion. And this is the problem. This is the problem, is that they used violence, they allowed the violence to occur to some extent so that they could use it as leverage, which is awful. It's just truly awful and disgusting. And I know about this because it was also done here in Switzerland, where I live, my country, where I live, my home. And I'm not, you know, patriotic or nationalistic or something like that, but like the place where you live, if the place where you live is experiencing something, then it's very real for you. And basically, it's very disappointing to read of a company that if they rely on the violence to promote their agenda. That's very, very disappointing, and it's very it's very disturbing. So this is the conversation. Just FYI, Mark, worried about taxi violence against any VTC's drivers. Unions being taken over by far-right spoiling for a fight. One to think through. Mark McGann, so he's the one who leaked all these documents. Extreme right thugs infiltrated some of the taxi protests. We will look at effective civil disobedience and at the same time keep folks safe. Believe it or not, thanks to Alexandra, we have very good connections with the Paris police. We'll be smart. Good meme though. Travis, CEO of the time, if we have 50,000 riders, they won't and can't do anything. I think it's worth it. Violence guarantee success. And these guys must be resisted, no? Agreed that right place and setup must be thought out. It's just awful. In a statement, Kalanik's spokesperson questioned the authenticity of some documents. So, I understand that you have a spokesperson to protect you against, you know, your public reputation, blah, blah, blah. And when something comes out like this, the first thing you do is attack the material. Attack the material. Dispute it, question it, the authenticity, say it's not true. The problem is, there's 124,000 documents. Like, how are you going to dispute the authenticity of 124,000 documents that now 200 journalists have access to as being fabricated? Simply, one person does not even have the time to fabricate that level of documentation. It's just simply not possible. So, yeah, basically, there was a demonstration. And the demonstration was coordinated, kind of, by Uber. The cab hailings app executive fixed the time and place of the demonstration and wrote a full-page manifesto in the French media. News reports suggest only a few hundred drivers showed up. Python script on a cron. Okay, fair enough. Maybe. So violence was not unique to France, okay? McGann had cataloged the violence across Europe in an email to San Francisco a year before the Paris protests. So they also can't say they didn't know it was happening, because a year before it happened, 80 drivers have been attacked physically, more than 10 ended up in hospital, depriving them of their incomes, dozens of cars destroyed. When you read something like this as an executive, surely it should be a signal to you to do something about it, right? Like, I don't understand how someone can sit there and be part of a company where your users are getting attacked and not do something about it. It just, for me, it just doesn't make sense. It really doesn't. So there's a whole load of evidence here about how everything was working and how they were... What years was this recently? This is 2013 to 2017, Jim. Whetstone. Whetstone. Uber's vice president for communications. Okay. Sorry. Whetstone. Lawyers for Whetstone stressed that she never condoned putting drivers at risk of violence. They said no Uber officials working under Whetstone sought to exploit violence against drivers, and she never oversaw such a policy. One of the incidents referred to occurred after she left the company. There is evidence here to suggest that she is not part of this. That this was all on other executives. She said that she joined Uber in 2015 because she loved the service and believed in the promise of flexible work for drivers. I consistently pushed back on Uber's more aggressive business practices, which were established well before my arrival, with some success, but resigned after 18 months due to significant ongoing concerns about the company's culture. And I think that's, you know, that's really telling. Jim says, I've never used Uber. Even when friends say use them, I'm personally boycotting them. So there was a movement. I don't know if any of you remember. There was a delete Uber movement. 2017. Okay. If you've been paying attention to Twitter the past few days, you may have noticed a trending hashtag, delete Uber. That's because there has been a backlash against Uber in response to accusations that the ride-hailing service intended to profit from a protest on Saturday against President Trump's executive order banning refugees and immigrants from certain countries from entering the United States. Blah, blah, blah. Basically, it's all in the same vein. Okay? It's all in the same vein. Uber, you know, Uber was basically just trying to use violence as part of their campaigning efforts again, right? Or at least a demonstration. So this is not a new thing. This is not a new thing. Anyway, the other thing is, so McGann, who released all these documents, he says, there's no excuse for how the company played with people's lives. I am disgusted and ashamed that I was party to the trivialization of such violence. And I think this is essentially the reason about why he leaked all of those documents. The guilt and shame and disgust that he felt was what told him that he needed to do something about it. And if you have to think about it, 2013 to 2017, I don't know when he stopped working at Uber, but basically he had to decide to get those documents during that time as well. Like, he couldn't just go back and just copy the entire folder, you know what I mean? Like, this isn't in one place. He had to think this through a bit. So he certainly planned this to some extent. Either during his exit or after, I don't know exactly. And ultimately, so ultimately, this entire story about Uber, and I think I agree with you, Jim. I've used Uber in the past. I'm very upfront about that. I have no problem with saying that. I used Uber in the past. However, I am not using their services anymore. In light of what is coming out about this company, I mean, we knew that there were some bad actors and stuff like that, but this goes so deep. This is part of like the company's culture. You know, like this is like 5 years ago, but so many people from 5 years ago are still there, right? There's so many people from the company that are still there. And I think that's the problem, is that ultimately when you create a company, the culture of the senior executives, or the first, I'll say first hires, they're always senior executives in the beginning, but the first hires, the culture always permeates into the rest of the business. And over the years to come, they hire people that are also like that. So 5 years ago, many people within the organization were apparently totally fine with schmoozing politicians and billionaires and letting violence happen if it benefited the company, and using a kill switch to disable access to data so the police's investigations would be messed up. And you know what? That is disgusting. And it means that 5 years ago, those people hired other people later who were also like them. And so it's, you know, it's very realistic to assume that a lot of people who are still there share those values still. Jim asks, what sparked your interest in the story Uber Files? Is there a documentary? I know it's data and statistics. Related. So Steffi's right. Part of this has happened in Switzerland. I think the core reasoning around this is also Rick, hello, and I've seen that. We will do that. There's two reasons. One, it's a big thing. The kill switch is definitely data related, like having a mechanism to cut off access to data to hinder police investigations. That is highly unusual and worth talking about. And the other reason, Jim, is Uber is in the so-called gig economy, right? The gig economy means people who basically side hustle, right? Or they turn it into a main hustle. And my startup is also in the gig economy. It's a platform. And reading about Uber, as I've done for the past several years, has made me more aware of what line to draw about when it comes to people who are contributing to a network in the gig economy, about what rights those people should have, what rights they're entitled to. Let me give you an example. When you drive for Uber, you do not decide the price of your journey. Okay? Uber is deciding the price for you. Uber argues that their drivers are not employees because they have decision over when and where they work. The problem is that if someone decides for you what you should be charging, doesn't that make you an employee? When you work for a company, like an agency, for example, and you bill for services by the hour, the company decides what your billing rate is, not you. And that's what Uber is doing. And that's the reason for a lot of the law or legal basis for arguments that are also happening here in Switzerland, particularly in the French part, that Uber has been fighting for years. that social security should be paid by the company. That's what basically people insist on, because Uber is employing all of the drivers. And Uber insists that they are not. And it's a gray area, legally speaking, right? It's a gray area. And so reading about this has better defined for me what the lines are, what rights people are entitled to. With our startup, with Cook Eat, when someone is cooking on our platform, they decide everything. They decide the price, they decide when. White Panther, you're going to bed. Thank you for 14 months, Panther. Thank you very much. Would you like a shout out, Panther, before bed? I'm sure we can do a little shout out. Why not? Have a little bedtime shout out.
Why are you such a sourceless man, David? Tell me. Batman. Sourceless man. Give me some sauce, baby.
So for me, it's helped better define what our startup wants, you know? And it's basically, if we give all the power to the cooks, if we give all the decision to them, then we're not employing them. It's that simple. We're not employing
They're
them.
in front of me.
Oh, the birth of the back seat. Yes, the birth of the car. No sauce from me.
Just wait. I don't know what to do. Right, hang on. Okay, that has to go in front of me there. Okay, just wait.
The birth of the back seat. Lovely. Absolutely lovely. So yeah, it's this article for me is maybe less classically data cafe related than others, Jim, but I feel it's important to talk about these things. There are company services that brick home automation appliances, and there are farm equipment OEMs that brick their smart farm equipment, like tractors. Is this ethical as well? Oh, that's a doozy, Jim. That's a doozy. Honestly, I don't know if there's a right answer to that question. I feel like every company has to decide for themselves what strategy they want to adopt. But on top of that, the users have to decide what they want to support as well. You know? That's the thing. Users also need to decide about what they're willing to support. I understand in some cases that you're maybe pushed into a corner when it comes to like farming equipment. I don't know how much choice there is about tractors, Jim, but yeah, I think generally speaking, you always have a choice, and my choice is to not support Uber anymore. It's very simple. I will be deleting my account over the next day or so, whenever I just find the time to do it. And that's it. I can't support a company that does that. It's very simple. Panther, you were about to quit streaming. You want to quit everything. Standard feelings, never mind. Bedtime, goodbye. Panther, you're definitely not a quitter. So, we have a friend in the house. Panther, would you like to play a game before bedtime? Get an electric scooter as your alternative transportation. Yeah, Jim, I mean, look, I can walk and take public transport most places. I have a car as well. So I'm not, in the sense, I'm not like relying on Uber for anything. And when I see like the Uber drivers here, when I see like the Uber Eats drivers, for example, on the scooters, I feel bad for them. I really do. I feel bad for them. I think a lot of them are stuck in an impossible situation, and I feel bad for them. I really do. So Rick has requested to play Words on Stream, and it has been quite a while since we played Words on Stream. So I think it could be worth playing a round of words on stream. We've got 25 people here or so, I don't know, something like that. Not Just Bikes did it a bit on Swiss trains. Looks pretty snaz. Okay. I can say I have never ordered from Uber Eats or Lieferando for that matters. Did someone say words? I did say words. I'm so sorry, I had no idea what I'm doing. Rick, no problem. What you have done is very simple. You have redeemed the most powerful, I would argue the most powerful channel point redemption there is. Because you get everyone excited. That's the thing. You get everyone fired up. So, what we're going to do is we're going to play words on stream.
Another powerful reason for insisting on Intel Inside.
And the way that this works is very, very simple. If you've never played words before, very good. If you've never played words before, then I will explain it to you. You will be shown a jumbling of letters, and you need to unsort the letters into words. It's very simple. Okay? So, it's very simple. You write the words in chat. You can make as many guesses as you want. Eventually, you will get locked, and you will see this little padlock. When you see a padlock, you can't guess any letters anymore. Okay? So basically, there will be mixed letters. You have to use the chat to solve the letters. And then if you get locked, you have to wait until you're unlocked. Okay? So chat, I need everyone to tell me that they're ready. Also, we should change Twitch categories to be correct. Is your startup in Canada yet? Unfortunately, Jim, we are currently only in Switzerland at the moment. I'm very sorry. I'm very, 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 very sorry about that. I would love to be all over the place. You know what? We're going to stay in this category. Whatever. It doesn't matter. We're going to stay in this category. Okay. So. Words. I have Exegete, Steffi, Jay Walter, Jim, Rick. We've got 5 players. We need like 6, 7, maybe 10 players, because otherwise it's going to be very difficult for everyone to make words. It's going to be very difficult. When I click start, the game is going to start immediately. So I want everyone to be ready.
Can't do it. We'll do it live.
It's absolutely the case. We have to do 100% live.
I can
Okay?
go write it and we'll do it live.
Chat. I can only play badly. Wonderful. Yost, let's go. Let's do it. I don't know what the long word is. It's very confusing. Bums. Subsume? Steve Buscemi! Sons? It's worth just like guessing random words, you know? Ah, buses, yeah, okay. 2 5-letter words this time. I'm doing really well. Oh, someone clipped earlier. Ah, Rockmat, you did clip earlier. Thank you for clipping. I have a thing for clip, but it didn't play it. It's so strange. Here, Rugman, I'll play it now. Thank you for clipping, Rugmat. I appreciate it. A clip, 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 and a clap. And then you've got your Twitch clip. Exactly. There's still a 4 and a 5 letter. Cubes? Suzzes? The Seb? Not bad. Skip 3 levels, chat. Very good. Okay. Are we ready to continue? We have 6 players. I feel like we could have 1 or 2 more players. I feel like we could have a couple more. Probably a couple people chilling in chat who could help us out. I wonder if there's anyone who's ready. Okay, let's continue. I'm just sorting something out, chat. I will play. Copper! Nicely done, Rugmat. Corpse. Prep. Cope. I misspelled Sipo. I don't know what I meant to write. Prop. Something between C and P. P something? P-E... Perk? Pero? Pope! Nicely done. We got all of them! Nicely done, chat. That's very good. Okay, let's continue. Nicely done, Rugmat. Ketchup. Amazing. Nicely done. L is fake. Oh yeah, we've already got fake letters, level 7. Yikes. Ooh, nice find, J. Walter. Shoot. Very good find. We've passed the goal for the level already, but there's more to be had. Ah, cute. Nice. Tech? No. Something with H? H something probably. 2 levels. Okay. Not bad. Not bad. Alright. Here we go. When we go, we go. Oh, wow. Okay, there's a fake letter again. Be careful. Pepper. Oh, I know it. Ah, I thought it was expert. It means the P is fake, chat. The P is definitely fake. Extreme. Exert? Yes. Amazing. There's still a 6-letter word in there. No, not temper. Tremor. What's that 6th letter, chat? What is that 6th letter? Xmeer? Meter. Oh, wow. Okay. Nice. Wow. Okay. Nicely done. Very, very nicely done, chat. Very nicely done. I hear bunnies. We have a look at the bunnies, what they're doing. Oh, there's no bunny on this scene. Aw. Oops. I wish I had bunny on this scene. Oh well. One more 4-letter. Probably something with M. Yeah. Mete. Whatever that is. Good job, chat. Good job. Okay, we're going to level 12. There will be a fake and a hidden letter. Okay? If you need to rejig your stream, if you need to reload so you don't have as much lag, then you can do that now. And here we go. Meta deal, measure, dole, the met out punishment. Interesting. Okay. Diagram. The G might be fake then. G. Oh no, G is fine. The D is fine. The R is fine. The M is fine. The N might be fake. Yeah, I think the M is fake. The N, sorry. D-R-A-I-N. Yeah, the N is probably fake. Grandma! J. Walter, nicely done. Very nice. Don't forget you can drop here as well. If you like to drop, you can drop here. So wait, what is the fake letter then? Oh, the I! The I is fake! Ah, okay. The I is fake. We need a couple more words, chat, otherwise we're not gonna make it. Dang. Oh, we didn't make it, chat. Oh, chat. F in chat. Hey, it's the first time, it's the first game we did in a very, very, very long time, chat. The first game we did in a long time, though. You did good. You did good. Honestly. You did okay. Really. Really, you did okay. It's a cool. I was in a stream the other day and we hit level 99. What? Wow. Twitch kicked you out in the middle. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Rick. Thank you for redeeming that, Rick. That was good fun indeed. I think we are going to wrap things up for today. As I said, I have a hard cutoff later today at 12, but we got through the Uber files. We got through everything that we needed to get through, which is cool. And yeah, I'm happy that we got through everything. I'm happy we were able to talk through everything. Thank you for alternating all the backgrounds. Thank you, Mike, Shoban,
and Taylor for being my faithful patrons over on Patreon. I appreciate your support a lot. Thank you very, very much to Cianhorn again for that absolutely bonkers donation. I really, that is just... Oh, absolutely crazy, really. I can't believe
No, really, I'm still so floored by what happened. I'm still so floored by what happened. It was really kind and really unnecessary. You never ever need to feel like you need to contribute financially to the stream, ever. So thank you to White Panther, TD, and Cianhorn as well for your subs, for those year or even 14-month subs, I believe, in the case of Panther. Thank you to Ferrewa and Fancy Yellow and Jim and Solrak for your follows. Donators. I should change that text. It says donators. But it's not a donation, it's a tip. It's a tip. So I think we're gonna go look for someone. Oh, I know who we can raid. I know who we can raid. Donuters. Donuters. That makes me hungry for donuts. Maybe I should have a little snack before I go to bed. Thank you all for coming here. Thank you everyone for listening to me garble on as usual. Today we are going to go visit our good friend Jordan, who is a developer at CockroachDB. If you're interested in database stuff, should be very interesting for you to hear about what kind of stuff he's doing, because he's currently implementing something called TS Vector, TS Query. Tasty. I'm very disappointed that there were no first-time chatters today, because I was reserving my new thing for them. Hi, welcome to the stream. What a shame. First time chatters, you get a hi welcome message.
We're going outside!
So yes, I wish you all a great weekend. Have some fun outside. Don't overheat yourselves. And see you all on Monday for more Colorbox shenanigans. Bye.